What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel. Now today we are going to be talking about another really awesome addition into Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that is going to be Orbeetle. Now, Orbeetle is a really interesting Pokemon, honestly. Its stats are really weirdly placed, but honestly in a good way. And so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we've got a base 60 HP, which is it's okay, but then base 110 defenses and base 120 special defense. Those are very good. So, all right, pretty bulky, but then it's also got 90 speed. So this thing is bulky and it's fast. So, yeah, this thing's got some pretty interesting stats. So it doesn't have very good special attack or attack, 80 being its highest way of doing any damage, but we're going to see if we can't work with that and make it work out in our favor anyway. But yeah, so pretty cool stats. I really like the spread of this thing's stats, and it really serves a really interesting niche of being really fast, but also taking a lot of hits. It doesn't do a whole lot back, obviously, but I think it does really well at what it does. And the first thing it does really well is setting up screens. So yeah, this thing is a really great screen setter. Right now it's sitting in RU, and it's one of the best, if not the best, screen setters in that tier, at least in my opinion. I think it's great in RU. And it also gets sticky web, which is crazy. This thing gets really cool moves. And so for this first set, I've got a light clay set. Obviously you run that with screens to make them last for longer, as well as sticky web. I mean, you've seen on my channel, I use sticky web like all the time. I love sticky web. And then for the last move, we're running magic coat. And basically this just blocks a lot of your non-attacking moves. So if something tries to taunt you, or if something tries to paralyze you, or just try to mess you up or stop you from using your screens. It also blocks Encore, I'm pretty sure. But if anybody tries to mess with you while you're trying to set up screens or sticky web, this is a great way to shut them down in return. So it's a really great move to have on that last slot, just to help cover yourself a little bit, just in case somebody leads with, say, a Taunt Mon or an Encore Mon or whatever it happens to be. So the next set we're going to look at is just straight webs, no screens. And I think this is a really cool set as well. It's a little more offensive in nature. We've got obviously some attacking moves here, as well as U-turn in order to get some switch priority here. Now we are running heavy duty boots on this one, and I typically run heavy duty boots on things. If they're not the offensive brand, I will run them if they serve a different purpose. So, for example, on a lot of my Torkoals, I will run heavy-duty boots just because I need him to switch in as many times as possible just to set up Sun. With this, if something is to spin away the webs, he'll need to switch in, and I may not always have been able to get rid of the rocks. So it's really nice to have the boots on this so it's not taking a quarter damage every time it switches in. In addition, it also works really well with U-turn. Obviously, U-turn, you're getting out of there in order to switch back in later. If you're just taking damage every time you switch in, then there's no point in switching in and switching out constantly. So I think this set works really well together. Obviously, this thing's defense is through the roof, so we're definitely going to run body press, and then I'm running psychic as our means of hitting with stab from the special side. So we then are going to look at a choice set, as this is not supposed to be Trick Room. Trick. There we go. Fixing it live. That's what we do here. But so I think this is a really cool set as well. This thing actually hits pretty hard with specs, and it's, considering that it's maxed out, and given the 90 speed, that's not a bad speed tier given the current metagame at all. It's actually decently fast, especially for RU. It's a really nice mon. I think it really fits well in RU. Trick allows you to shut down anything that wants to come in on you, anything that's bulky that may want to try to set up, or something that may want to use some kind of a setup move. You could lock them into that move. That would be really nice. You also could run a Scarf on this. The Scarf allows you to outspeed a lot of key things in the tier, which is really great. I think it's really awesome to be able to get that extra speed and go ahead and move first. It is very unexpected when you go first with Orbeetle. I mean, he's 90 speed, but a lot of things come in on this, and they just assume they're going to outspeed you, so they leave it in, and you may just end up killing him. And it's pretty surprising if you come in on something that expects to just kill you in one hit, and you just take them out in return. So just something to consider, but I think that both Specs and Scarf would actually work really well for Orbeetle. The next set we're going to look at is a Calm Mindset. As you can see, this thing gets a really diverse move pool. And so basically we're going to be running Calm Mind and Recover. Yes, this thing gets Recover. It gets all kinds of stuff. And so on this set, we are also going to be running Swarm. So I didn't talk about his abilities at all, but Swarm is a really cool ability. It works a lot like Torrent and all those other abilities that the starters get. And so basically when you're at a third or less HP, you get a 1.5 times bonus, and so that will affect Bug Buzz. If you are to get below a third, that will help you out with that. And so I typically will run that on any set that's running Bug Buzz. Otherwise, Frisk is a really, really nice option. Frisk just allows you to see what the opponent's item is, and in a game where information is key, and knowing what your opponent is trying to do before they do it, that can be everything, because item really can tell you a lot about what your opponent is trying to do with that set. So I think it's really cool to run Frisk on any set that does not have Bug Buzz on it, but if you're running Bug Buzz, probably run Swarm just for that power in a cinch where you need it. But so yeah, we have Calm Mind here, and then Recover, Psyshock, and Bug Buzz. You're always going to want to run max HP on this mon. Just the way that math works in Pokemon, if you've got a low HP, even if I were to boost up my defense or special defense, I still wouldn't take a hit on that side, on either given side, nearly as well as if I gave it HP investment. So that's why I'm giving it HP. So yeah, on this mon, if you're gonna make it bulky, always make sure you're max HP. Don't just mess with the defenses. So yeah, I think this is a really, really cool mon. I think Calm Mind actually works really well because it gets Recover, and it's already pretty bulky as is. Now you could run like a slower physically defensive set, and just not run the speed, and instead run a bold nature max defense. That also could work really, really well. And you could obviously switch out one of these moves for body press if you wanted to do that. But I like having the speed there, and being able to outspeed things while also calm minding is really nice, actually. So I think this is actually the better EV spread, but of course you can do whatever you want. It's your Pokemon. But I'm just here to give you some really cool suggestions. All right, our fifth set is Iron Defense Body Press. This thing can run that really, really well, and it allows this thing to be a mixed attacker. Its attack stat is 45. You wouldn't think anything's coming from the physical side, but you do have to worry about Psyshock, obviously coming from this, and then Body Press. This thing with a 110 base defense, it does massive damage to anything that wants to switch in, such as steel types. Anything weak to fighting is going to take a ton from a Body Press coming off of this. And then you've got anything that you want to hit on the special side with a Psychic. And then of course Recover in the last slot. But Iron Defense is going to basically be a Swords Dance for your Body Press. And then you've got Psychic to cover everything else, and Recover, keep yourself healthy. This set can get really dangerous, especially in the meta where it is so physically oriented. There aren't a ton of super great special attackers in the tier, or just in the game, honestly. It's very, very heavily physical. And so if you can get rid of some of those special attackers off the opponent's team, where they're left with the physicals, and you start setting up with this, yeah, your opponent doesn't have a chance. And this thing can come in super clutch for you in a really specific situation. But I also think that it's not that difficult of a situation to set up for yourself in order to let this thing shine. All right, so for our meme set this week, or today, I guess, it is going to be an agility weakness policy set. Now, like I was saying with this mon, it is very, very fast given what its stats are, and it's very bulky. It's likely that it's going to be able to take a super effective move, given that it's not specific moves, obviously. But if you take something like a U-turn, you're probably going to be able to switch in on a U-turn and take that okay. Or if something just goes for U-turn on you. And then you get to go for agility. Now, if you go for agility on this mon with no investment at all, let's see, I pulled this up here. No investment at all. A Scarf Dracovish is 409, and you will be 432. And let's also check on our buddy Dragapult here, very fast. If you're running this in OU, yeah, you're still 11 points faster. So yeah, you and then you OHKO it if you are running stored power, but I don't think I had that on this set. But I probably should. So let's put that right there. So yeah, so this set right here is really, really cool. I think that this set actually has some viability because this thing can boost up like this. I have seen people who like to run Iron Defense in conjunction with agility, but I don't personally think that that's the best set. I think that I like having that grass coverage just in case. It helps you to cover some of those really common walls. It helps you to cover water types, especially bulky waters. It helps you take those out. I know Gastrodons are still floating around. Quagsires are still around. And if you're running it in OU, of course, Seismitoad is everywhere. So this really helps you to be able to deal with all of those. And so, yeah, we're running no speed modest. And so that allows you to outspeed a lot of things. So obviously the Dracovish being able to outspeed a Dracovish that's scarfed is really, really cool after an agility. Yeah, you're gonna outspeed most scarfers in this game. And so I think that you don't even need the speed investment. I think that you just need to pour it all into your special attack and then go ahead and pour it into your HP just to give you a little bit of longevity. And honestly, if you get this thing set up with +2, +2, +2, there aren't a lot of Pokemon that want to switch into this thing. A stored power coming off of this at a +6, plus stab, plus all that other stuff. Yeah, you're going to absolutely wreck some teams. So, yeah, offensive Orbeetle is a thing that I think that you should try out. Obviously, instead of Body Press, you could also run Bug Buzz, but I kind of like Body Press just for the coverage here. But yeah, it's up to you. But this is what I like on Orbeetle. So, anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. So I've got a really cool video coming for you, hopefully on Thursday. I am at least planning on having it up on Thursday. I've got a little bit of editing on it to do, but it should be really cool on Thursday. And then I'm also planning on live streaming this weekend. So I hope that you guys will come out and join me for that. And I hope to see you guys in the chat and be able to talk to you guys. I always love seeing you guys there. So anyway, that is going to be it for today, and I will see you guys next time. So until then, bye-bye.